Hi, how's it going?
How are you?
Doing well, thank you.
Good. So how's school going?
School's going well, thank you. Just working through some senior design stuff. We are creating a head impact monitoring system, and hopefully we can get that up and running by the end of spring.
Great, that sounds awesome. So I'm just going to jump right into it here. What first caught your eye about Moog that made you interested?
A couple of things. Moog is a pretty strong leader in the aerospace industry. I think they do produce a lot of high performance and quality products all over. I think that Moog also has a certain philosophy in how they run the company and their culture, which is very.
That was my phone, sorry.
Yeah, sorry. Turn that phone off. Damn it. But the culture and the philosophy in which they run the company is, I feel, very productive in the workplace environment. Namely, how there's trust. There's a certain level of trust and mutual respect between employees, and I feel in order to innovate and truly make improvements on models, it's required to
So can you tell me about a skill that you learned from one of your previous jobs that you think will benefit you here at Moog?
In a couple summers ago, I had the privilege of working in a lab environment with a couple of material science leaders in the material science world. The skills that they taught me were almost invaluable. Just in the testing environment in general, that there are things that go wrong frequently. There are solutions that need to be obtained quickly, and that you really need to just understand the material well enough to be able to maneuver around such obstacles.
Great. So I also see on your resume here that you are involved in EWB, which is Engineers Without Borders. What's your interest in that? Why are you spending time doing EWB?
EWB is a club at Santa Clara that caught my eye in one of the meetings. I think EWB's mission, which is to help others in the world who need it, but in a certain manner. It avoids the concept of pure charity and stresses the education and the responsibility of the people that we aim to help to better themselves. And I think that this aspect of EWB is one of the better ways to approach a project such as one of the projects that I'm working on now, which is a water distribution and purification system in El Pital, Honduras. I think that the goals behind EWB are just and something that is needed in this world for people to give back in a proper manner.
Cool. So I'm wondering, can you describe a time in the recent past, in the past couple of years, where you failed at something and how you reacted to that failure?
That is a good question. The most recent example I can think of, oddly enough, may not be a conventional example. However, this past summer, I was lucky enough to be living at home, and I was able to enjoy the ocean as much as I could. As funny as it sounds, I do enjoy surfing, and in the last couple of years, I have really been struggling with improving and seriously, I guess having fun, which is, I guess, what it's all about. But what I noticed about when I was in the water is that I was quite literally afraid of falling. And it's silly because it's, at the worst, it's only water. And this summer, I was able to put myself out there and really concentrate on ignoring falling or failing, which I think serves as a metaphor for other aspects in my life. I think that the way in which I improved upon myself or made myself strive for greater talent, so to speak, was basically just putting my head down and really just putting myself out there. And yeah.
Great. So now these last two questions are more just, there's no really right or wrong answer, it's just kind of get a feel for your personality. And the first one I wanted to ask you was, if you could go into the future for, say, like 5 minutes, and you could only Google search one thing, what would it be? You go 10 years into the future, and you can only Google search one thing, what would it be?
Stock prices.
Okay.
No. Wow, that's another good question. I think I would have to pick, as silly as it sounds, I'd probably have to pick just checking the news in general, purely out of curiosity. I don't think that, maybe, in some scenario it could help me out in the past, but I don't really think it would be about that. I think it would purely be out of curiosity, just to see or gain a perspective of an immediate 5-year, 10-year, 20-year jump in time, and just see how everything changes and where everything's at in the world.
Cool. And then finally, if you could change into any animal at will, what would it be and why?
What would it be and why? I would probably pick a sea lion. Like I said, over the summer, I was lucky enough to be around the beach quite often. Around quite a lot of sea lions, and in and out of the water, and it seems like they really enjoy what they do, which is not much. But, I think they're very graceful. I don't know. They are amazing to watch in the water. And, yeah.
All right, well, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
Well, so do you have any questions for me?
Yes, I do. The first one being, in the testing environment, or I guess specific to my position, as an entry-level engineer, what kind of freedoms does that give me in the lab, out of the lab? Am I working directly under somebody constantly? Do I have the freedoms to conduct my own analyses? How does that work, especially given Moog's philosophy on the workplace environment?
Great question, and one that I was actually curious about when I was going to work here as well. Do you have any other questions?
Yes, I do. How has an entry-level position such as my own, or the one I'm seeking, how has that evolved over time, and especially given the advancement of computer automated drawings and other computer systems? What kind of responsibilities has this position gained in the last couple of years? And
Interesting question. And anything else?
No, that's all.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.